before we wrap things up today, I'd like to take a brief moment to ask our panelists for their key takeaways or their final thoughts. Jim, we heard from you first. Perhaps you want to lead us off with a few of your key takeaways.
Well, I think one thing that I said that's very basic, if you're a U.S. Owner and you're going to have operations abroad, and GILTI is going to become a reality, I don't see how it could not be, consider whether you should really run the numbers on whether you should have a C Corp as opposed to just an LLC or partnership or individually, because just the numbers really are significantly different. And it may take some time to run them, but I just think the C Corp just looks so much stronger than not having a C Corp. That's the big takeaway. Modeling and numbers.
Thank you so much. We then heard from Justin. Justin, do you want to close us out with a few of your key takeaways?
Certainly, Andrew. And thank you, everybody, for their time. Once again, I think the two key takeaways here are GILTI was finalized, the final regs as part of the Tax Cut and Jobs Act really tightened up a lot of the documentation for that anti-abuse. And as Jim and I both talked about, made no distinction between the Subpart F and GILTI. So I think, tax practitioners and the tax executives of companies of all sizes really should take a look at those GILTI final regs that have been finalized in this summer. And I think one of the areas that I can't emphasize enough is improved internal controls and documentation. I alluded to it several times. This is an area where, folksy slogans aside, a good offense is a good defense here. Having the systems in place so you can prove the contemporaneous documentation will be there if there was ever a challenge to have transfer pricing penalties and the adjustments. Having the documentation can not only help support an economic study and a transfer pricing opinion, but also can prove confidence to both management and any IRS examiners, field agents who could be looking at a company and challenging the documentation and intercompany pricing. So having that system software, and there's a lot of things on the market, really goes a long way.